May just pull that brush size down just a little bit. Might be a bit better. Just give us a little bit more control. Okay. I'm just going to go over that bit just here. Again, I think our brush is just a bit too big, so through here. Okay. Paint that through there. Maybe you down through here. Bit through there. And I'm just going to go over a little bit here. Okay. Now I have to be careful here because I don't want to hit that opposite side, so I will angle the model up a little. I'm not worrying about the base here because we'll retexture that a little bit later. Not just at a second. And there's a bit here at the end. Pull that down there like that. All right, let's pull back out on this. Move it out of the way for a second. We'll go back to our layer. Let me throw an ad on this one. Pull it back. I'm going to throw a new layer down. Zoom in a bit on the model. Again, I might just angle the model up so I can see that edge a little bit more easily. So I'm not really fussed with that texture. Let's see what this one's like. This could be interesting. Let's make it a little bit more different from the one that we just painted. So again, I'm not worried about the black. I'm more concerned with the white. So this line that you see appearing here, where am I? Just let me move. This line you see here is, don't worry about that. When we change the blending mode, you won't see that. So I'm only concerned with the white part of the texture. Bake that down. Bake that down. Pull that up a bit. Okay. Once we've finished texturing up this garden terrace, then I'll also show you how I create my beauty renders that I put on the creative market at on Cornucopia 3D. I use Eon View to do that, to do those renders. So I'll go through the whole process of texturing up the model, then exporting it, importing it into Eon View, and then doing the beauty renders. And I'll show you how I do those when the time comes for us to export the model. View is notoriously resource intensive, and slow to render, and there are certain things you can do in View to speed that up, and I'll show you a couple of tips and tricks that you can use when you're rendering out in View to speed up the render. But anyway, we're going to concentrate on just getting this model textured up first. And again, Eon have a free PLE version of Eon View if you want to play around with it and learn it. You can freely download it from their website. It has a couple of restrictions, like in what size you can render your images out to, but still they're quite reasonable. You can render them out quite large, and it gives you an idea of whether you like the software or not, whether you'll find a use for it. I like it because it does environment rendering really well. A lot of people will use V-Ray, and I use V-Ray as well, but Eon's View is just specializes in environment rendering, so it does that very well. If not just a little slow to do its renders, but like I said, there are ways you can speed that up. Just move that out of the way. And throw a screen on it, I think. Just pull it back a little bit. I'm going to throw down a new layer, and I'm just going to quickly save that. I'm also going to pull in my dirt textures. Okay. What have we got here to play with? Nope. This one will be good. This one, let's quickly take a look at this one as well. Yeah, no. I think the one we had was good. Just making sure I get my layers organized properly here. Okay, we're working in layer 4. Just going to zoom in a little bit on the model. Angle it a bit down like that. No, we want you around that way. We make it just a little smaller though. Okay. And again, I'm not concerned with the white in this texture, I'm only concerned with the black. Break that down. Take that down. We might just go over that spot just there a little bit. Remember guys, if you've got any questions, anything you don't understand or anything you want me to explain in more detail, feel free to pop into the chat and let me know. Ask me a question. Or just say hi. If I can help, I'm more than happy to. Okay, we'll bake that down. just going to switch back to my pen here for a minute. Bake that down. I'm just going a little darker in just a couple of areas to add a bit of variation. And this piece here at the end. All right, we'll bake that down. I'm just going to move that out of the way for a minute. Pull that out. I think we'll go with the multiply, will be better. Alright, just throw one more layer on. I just want to add a bit of general dirt to the overall texture again. And again, I'll angle it up, working on a new layer. Let's bake that down. Before I continue on, I'm just going to play with the blending mode to get a better idea of what it's going to look like. The darken should be alright if we pull it back just a bit. Okay. And now as I paint, I can see how it's going to be laid down. And again, I'm just making sure to keep the model angled up so I don't overpaint anything on the back side that I don't want to be painted. And like I said, I could use masking, which I'll just show you quickly here to stop that from happening. But I prefer to work without masking as much as I can. I'll use masking if I need to. It is a really handy tool to have, but yeah, occasionally it's good to work without masking. That way you get a better overall look at the entire model without the red mask getting in the way. And as long as you're just careful and you keep the model angled correctly, it shouldn't be a problem. Shouldn't need to use the masking, particularly for a large object like this. If it was a smaller, more fiddly model I was painting on, then masking would be necessary probably. And I'm just going over a couple of areas a little darker than the others. Maybe up through here and through here. This bit on the end. Okay, we'll bake that down. We will take this back into Max and see what it looks like. Let's just move that a little bit. I'll save this file. And we will I'll export all layers flat. Okay. Pardon me. We'll go to Terrace base back. Terrace base back. Painted.tga. Okay. Let's go back into Max, into the material editor. Where are we now? Terrace base back, Terrace base back, painted. Okay. Now I've noticed I want to darken up that base, and also I want to try to work out which of the blending modes I prefer. I think probably the white. So just a couple of corrections I want to make on this. So let's start with the one we've been working on. Back into Mari. Just going to move you up a bit. Go back to that layer at the bottom. That's that one there. I want to pull it up so it's darker. And then export flattened again. Terrace base back painted, we leave it the way it is. Yes, we want to overwrite. Again, if Max goes black like that, just reload the texture. Okay, that's better. Now I want to change the one we were working on at the start here. Just got to make up my mind whether I prefer it darker or whiter, and I think I prefer it the whiter, so we'll go back into Mari. We'll save this project we've been working on just in case we want to come back later on and do a bit more touch-up work on it. We will close that project. And we'll open up the first one we started working on, which was this one here, Terrace base rowing. I'll let Murray think about it. Okay. Now I want to find that layer. Actually, I want to do the top of the other one as well, but we'll work on this at the moment. Wasn't that one? No, not that one. Not that one. Okay, it was that one. Let's do an export flattened on this and see what it looks like. This one, Terrace base right. Yes, we want to override it. Okay, we'll go back to max and reload that texture again. I think I might want to bring it up just a bit more, so is it 3 we were working in? No. 2. I'm just going to pull it up a bit. Terrace base right painted. Just always double check that it's saving it, overwriting the correct file. Okay. All right. And again, I need to add that that dirt layer along the top here. And I also want to darken up that a bit more at the base, so we will save this bit here. And close that project and go back to the back that we were working on. Just give Mari a minute to think about it. Okay, right, this one here at the back. All right, now let's, where wasn't that layer? This one here. Again, I'm just going to pull it up just a little bit. Now I'm going to throw a new layer down. And we're going to grab you might work. So let me zoom in a bit on the model here. Let's see if we can't find something that's still a little bit better. Well, huge. And not what we're looking for. So we'll look at you. No. What about you? Yeah, you'll work. Yeah, no, you should work quite well. So what we'll do is we'll rotate you around and zoom you in a bit. And again, I'm going to make sure that the model is positioned correctly, so angled up a little. I'm on a new layer. Just going to paint that in there. Just going a little darker in some spots than others. Bake that down. Again, we're not worried about the white part in this texture, we're only worried about the dark black. Okay. Bake that down. Just get my model angled correctly here. Maybe pull it up just a bit. Okay, we'll bake that down. Come on, don't bite me now. There we go. I'll just rotate that slightly. You've got to remember these outside walls of this garden terrace will have seen a lot of weathering and water, so you're going to get a lot of dirt and grime and muck built up on them. And this is muck that would have built up just through the overhang of the banisters that are above the wall here. So a lot of water will have flowed over them and dirt will have been caught there. So bake that down. Just going to move that out of the way. I'm just going to pull that back just a bit. Actually, let me just change it to that. We'll export all layers flattened. Terrace base back. It's remembered our texture file because it's all part of that one project, so we don't have to worry about that. It's always wise to check, but Mario remembers. So let's go back into 3D Studio Max and reload that texture. And I know I need to make it just a little bit lighter. So back into Mari. I'm just going to pull it back ever so slightly. And we'll export all again. And back into Max. And reload the texture. And that's better. So we've still got to do this side and this inner front section and the curve section here. So and I may just throw another different colored texture map here and there over the outside of this as well, but I'll wait till I've textured up all of the outside part of the sandstone before we look at adding any more detail on top of that. It'll just help, once you've got an overall view of it, it helps you decide where you actually want to put more of a detailed texture in. So I've added a bit of dirt there. We have to try and decide what color we're going to make, what texture colors we're going to make the banisters and the columns as well, based on the overall color scheme of the model itself. And I was thinking maybe a white marble type texture for the banister, the exterior of the banister here. Not sure about the actual columns in the middle. Maybe something a bit darker here for the exterior columns that run around the outside. If you're wondering what that is, that's just a spare piece of wrought iron work that I keep to the side in case I decide I want to put a bit more detail anywhere else on the model. I can just grab it quickly and place it where I need it, copy it and place it. Although I'm probably not going to add any more to this particular model, I don't think. Alright, we may leave it there for today, guys. I stream weekdays on Twitch from 5 p.m. Pacific time in the United States. I also put all of my past streams on YouTube. The link to YouTube is at the bottom of my Twitch page. I also upload them all to Twitch, so you can watch them again later in the upload section of the videos. If you need to, or if you want to, you can follow me on my Twitter page at PhilDoes3D. I always post there 15 minutes before I go live. So yeah, keep an eye on my page there, but weekdays, 5 p.m. Pacific time in the US is when I start streaming. Okay guys, hope you got something out of watching me today, and I will see you guys again hopefully tomorrow. I'll be back on again tomorrow at 5 p.m. Okay guys, thanks. See ya.